Hey team, hope you're doing well. Hope your training's going well and you're healthy. Today's topic, I wanted to go over a question one of my subscribers left on my channel, and it's basically over the 800-meter tips and tricks, some things you need to be thinking about. His question is, I can do three 500-meter repetitions, 119, he's running it at 119, 118, and 120 with spikes and a 5-minute rest in between. Do you think I can run a 204? And my answer to him was absolutely. I mean, you have to, when you're trying to run a fast 800-meter event, when you're trying to run a fast 800-meter time, you really have to focus on your overall leg speed and continuing to train at very, very high intensities. It's very key that you train the body to work more efficiently, and you not only to run fast over 800 meters all the way up to the marathon distance. Even if you're training for a more aerobic event like the 10-mile, 5K, 10K, half marathon, or marathon, you have to always work on your speed development and getting to a point where you can handle higher amounts of lactic acid buildup more efficiently and effectively. And the key thing when you're training for races like the 800 meter, the 1500 meter, the 1600 meter if you're in high school, or the 3200 meter if you're still in high school, is patience. You're not going to get great results in this sport as a middle to long distance runner fast. Focus first on building a strong aerobic base before you start building into a longer track season buildup. So 12 weeks to 16 weeks is optimal in most cases for athletes training for the 800 meter to 1 mile distances. Obviously, the longer the race, the more complicated the race, the longer you need to think. You have to really have a long-term approach, and the same goes even for these shorter races. The 800 meter, I ran the 800 in high school, ran 2 flat, and always was working on speed, trying to get faster over the longer distances. I was more of a 1600 meter athlete in high school, 3200 meter athlete in high school. But as far as 800 meter tips and tricks, and this question of, he's asking, I can do 500 meters in 119, 118, and 120. It kind of proves to me, it shows to me that this athlete is definitely capable of running 204 for the 800 meter event. Definitely focus on negative splits. Focus on doing the very best you can to run an even or negative split in this particular race, because again, the 800 meter is so fast. It's over in such a short amount of time that you really have to be strategic in this race. You don't have a lot of time to really make many mistakes in an 800 meter versus if you're running a 5,000 on the track or a 5 mile on the roads or a marathon. There's more time. There's more. You can adjust if you went out a little too fast. You can't really do that in 800 meter because it's over like that. So you have to really focus on doing the types of workouts that are going to yield you the highest return on your investment when it comes to the 800 meter. That's repeat hill repetitions each week, doing very, very aggressive type efforts like repeat 100 meters all out on the track or on the roads, with full recovery in between each one of those. And I do prescribe that a lot to the athletes that I work with one-on-one, as well as in the training plans that are on RunDreamAchieve.com. And there's a reasoning behind that. You want to recruit more fast twitch muscle fibers. You're not going to be able to recruit fast twitch muscle fibers by running easy, relaxed aerobic running. It's still very important to run easy, okay? And I still stress the importance of doing very paced long runs every other weekend during your buildup. Don't get caught up with this long, slow, easy running approach that a lot of athletes follow. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's still very important to run slow and easy for long periods of time during those long runs, even if training for an 800 meter. But just don't get in the habit of doing this every single weekend, because again, it's just going to make you a long, slow distance runner. Your event here in this particular video is the 800 meter, which is a highly anaerobic event. You have to train at very high speeds in training, hard tempo runs, hill repetitions, fartlek workouts where you're doing maybe 20 minutes of 1 minute hard followed by 1 minute easy, varying up the paces. Maybe it's like a ladder drill where you're running 5 2-minute reps of fartlek running followed by 4 minutes or 4 1 minute reps of all out efforts, very hard, anaerobic efforts. So again, you want to get in the type of shape that's going to help yield you the best results over the 2 lap distance. Don't go out if you're trying to break 2 minutes for the 800 meter. Don't go out the first lap of the race in 53 seconds and then come back and say like a 67 second lap. Again, you're going way too anaerobic in the first lap and you fall apart in the second lap. So again, it's very important to be very patient with your racing style. Continue to develop your strategy and running that second lap faster than you run the first lap in your training. Always focus on at least once per week running at paces that are significantly faster than your goal race pace. So in this case, this athlete's trying to run 62 seconds for 2 laps. So this athlete definitely needs to spend some time running around 54 to 55 second 400 meter speed, so that again they get accustomed to getting that 62 second quarter speed to feel easier. So going out and say a 60 to 62 that first lap feels like more of a jog. It's going to be very painful in the second lap, regardless if you're fit or you're unfit. Especially if you're unfit, it's going to hurt much more. It's going to be much more painful. But again, if you've trained sufficiently over a long enough period of time, preferably 12 to 16 weeks, and you're really spending time at least once per week training at your VO2 max, running around 95 to 100% of your maximum heart rate, running a great 800 meter time is going to happen. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And again, it takes 3 to 4 weeks for the body to adapt to any stress you're placing on it. So don't expect quick results. Don't expect that it's going to be easy. You're training for a very fast event, and it doesn't matter if you're training for the 800 meter, the half marathon, the marathon, or you're training for a very fast event like the 400 meter, 800, 1500, 1600, 2 mile, 3200 meter on the track. You have to have that patience, because if you don't have a belief in delayed gratification in the sport, it's going to be a stressful experience for you, and that's definitely what I don't want for all of you that are watching my videos. Enjoy what you're doing, have a plan in place, think long term about what you're doing. Know that if your current best for the 800 meter right now is 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and you're trying to break 2 minutes, it might take you several years to do that. It may take you several months to do that. It just depends on your overall capability and the maturity level of where you're at in the sport. But this athlete that's asking the question, I can do 3 500 meter reps at 119, 118, and 120 with a 5-minute rest in between. I would definitely work to get that rest period down to around 60 seconds per 500 meter repetition. Again, you're not going to get any rest in the 800 meter or any event. So you definitely want to teach the body to be able to recover faster and really improve your overall speed on these repetitions and lessen the amount of time you're giving yourself in between each one of these reps. You're definitely fit if you can run 119, 118, and 120 for 500 meter repetitions on the track, but a 5-minute rest definitely is a lot of rest in between each one of those reps. So work to get that down to around 60 seconds, 45 seconds to 60 seconds. And if you can get that rest period down and still hit these types of times, your likelihood of breaking 204 for the 800 meters is definitely going to increase. The likelihood of you doing that is definitely going to happen. So I hope these 800 meter tips and tricks and the things you really need to be thinking about in this event are helpful for you. Leave me a comment below if you have any questions or concerns regarding this event or any event, whatever event you're training for. Definitely check out the resources below all of my videos or on RunDreamAchieve.com. They're there to help speed up your learning curve and help you get the results you're seeking in a faster manner. So I wish you all the best. I look forward to talking with you all in the next video.